I really think I might need to apologise to everyone at the hospital yesterday for the absolute state of me. I took 30 milligrams of codeine twice yesterday. It was prescribed. I didn't really know what was going to happen. Like, I didn't think there were going to be any effects. Have you seen Wolf of Wall Street where they take those lemons? It was a bit like that, apart from I could walk. I don't drink alcohol or do any recreational stuff. So this hit me like a ton of bricks. I didn't think there was going to be any side effects other than pain relief. And then I went into the bathroom and there was this bin saying offensive waste, which obviously means like, you know, like medical waste. I like in there, it hit me and it was like they put it there on purpose as a hilarious joke. So I went back out to the waiting room. First of all, I think I filmed some of it. And then I went back out to the waiting room, like pissing myself laughing. Bearing in mind we're in early pregnancy unit, which is not exactly the place where you want to go like laughing. Not everyone is there for a fun time. So I was sitting there and then my boyfriend like put out his hand to hold my hand. And I think I told him that he should be a body double for Thing in the Addams Family. There was something about Thing in the Addams Family in his hand. And then there was a lady sitting there talking about, God, this literally feels like an acid dream. There's a lady talking about this duck in York University who's really tall. And you know, like it's someone else's conversation, so you can't respond to it because then it looks like you're like eavesdropping. But I was, and I pissed myself laughing. And the waiting room's tiny and quiet. And so they turned around and were like, oh, like, were you listening? And I just had to say yes, like, what else am I going to do? And then chatted to them. I don't know what I said. I remember looking over at my boyfriend and he's so good, like he would never ever act embarrassed by me, but I think that probably, I remember him rolling his eyes a little bit and me thinking like, oh, I wonder if that's because of me. It was because of me. I started taking my own cannula out. He wasn't happy about that. In the end, a nice nurse came and did it for me. And then so what happened was that was like the first dose, and then the pain came back like hours later, obviously, and then I took a second one. That was the big mistake. So we walked out, there was an M&S as we were walking out, and apparently I've turned into a royalist, which I'm absolutely not. Look what I bought. I bought Colin the caterpillar with a crown on it. King of... I do not like high Mies politics, I'll tell you that now. Anyway, kids will be happy. So then we walked out of M&S, and then I saw a tin of biscuits on the way out, which I did get. These biscuits. I remember thinking, oh, they're expensive. And then I walked out and I really, and bearing in mind like I haven't been eating very much, I really wanted a biscuit. I sobbed. I stood still and I sobbed my eyes out. I don't remember crying like that, maybe ever, maybe even as a kid. Like breathless sobs. And my boyfriend was like, what's wrong? I was like, I just want those biscuits. But I was sobbing my eyes out. He was like, okay, well, I'll get you the biscuits. So he went and got the biscuits. Then I got in the car. He was driving, so I usually drive it, it's my car. Then I looked in the mirror and he'd obviously angled the mirrors differently because he has a different angle and it looked like my eyes had moved up my head. So I burst into hysterical crying about that as well. Then on the way home, I thought he was doing hand signals to someone and I got really paranoid that I didn't know what he was doing. So he had a fun day. We are back on Earth now.